Next speaker, Jeffrey Purtee, annual report, Jeffrey Purtee.
Welcome to the annual report for the Next Year for Sure Toastmasters Club, where it's not just a club name, it is a way of life. It is our mantra. As we always do here at Next Year for Sure, please join me in repeating our mantra. Fellow members, when are we going to lose that weight? Next year for sure. Fellow members, when are we going to achieve those personal life goals? Next year for sure. Finally, fellow members, when are we, after 10 years of trying, finally going to achieve distinguished club status? Next year for sure. As your president, it is a pleasure to present to you this annual report and hopefully serve as a foundation for success in the coming Toastmasters year. As you know, we here at We the People, which is another club of mine. We here at Next Year for Sure never prescribe your speech topics. It is our role here to help you say it more effectively, not to tell you what message you should impart. Nevertheless, I wish to suggest that some of you perhaps rethink some of the topics that you delivered over the past year. I wrote some down, and these are some that really caught my eye. The unknown benefits of the British petroleum oil spill. Serial killers, portrait of evil, or misunderstood geniuses. Favorite recipes for cooking, creating, and preparing endangered species. You probably remember from the audience reaction, those particular speeches were not well received at the club. Here's a tip. When you hear people muttering under your breath during your speech, that is not a good sign. While on this topic of speech topics, there was one that I confess I was not at that meeting, but the excellent meeting minutes by our club secretary, Tom, and let me see, I think I've got a copy here. Oh, here they are. Yes, club member Trixie Martin gave her 10th Competent Communicator speech, Inspire Your Audience. By the way, Trixie, great job in completing your CC. But I want to ask you if you could just clarify this speech title for me. Yeah. I'm getting lucky tonight. Is anybody interested? I probably do not understand that speech title because on the surface it wouldn't appear to be appropriate for... Okay, so that was what you meant. Trixie, you may want to reread that speech project. I'm not sure that's what they meant by inspiration. What was that, Tom? You were inspired. Oh, Jay, could you say that again? Jay, you were very inspired by that speech. Daryl? The most inspiring speech you've ever heard. Okay, well, I stand corrected then, but I do encourage you all to please consider your speech topics here at Next Year for Sure Toastmasters. Turning to the topic of speech evaluations, we have made great progress this year in turning our evaluations into more helpful, more targeted, more supportive. Nevertheless, I suggest we still have a little bit of work to do here. I've made a couple of notes. Oh, here they are. My fellow members, when you earn nicknames such as the Tear Maker, Killer, Dream Crusher, these are not compliments. You may want to work on your speech skills. Now, is Wilson, okay, Wilson. Good. Wilson, I want to give you compliments on your take on speech evaluation strategy. Your take on using historical figures is really bringing a new meaning to speech evaluation. I still remember your, if Abe Lincoln was your evaluator, I've got it right here, if Mahatma Gandhi was your evaluator. But I suggest you be, well, a bit more careful about the historical figures you choose. I'm specifically referring to the if the Roman Emperor Caligula. I'm not sure it was helpful for Sherry's icebreaker to shout, "Send in the lions." Remember, Wilson, we're here to build our members up, not tear them down. The final topic I wish to cover today is meeting themes. Our meeting Toastmasters have done a great job in some of our themed meetings, haven't they? Why, I've written some here that were just great. We all remember the toga party theme. The themed meeting, "Come as your favorite Nazi general." And of course, the best reasons to hate your parents theme. But I want to call your attention to one meeting theme that, well, I think went just a little bit over the line of good taste. I know which one you're all thinking about. It was Toastmaster Bruce Jones' meeting theme. I want to make sure I get it right. Yes, the meeting theme, "Bring a stripper to Toastmasters." Now, while I applaud our Sergeant-at-Arms for finding 3 polls for that meeting, I'm not sure it's appropriate for next year for sure meeting theme. Yes, Bruce, look, I'm well aware we had 4 times the usual number of attendees to that meeting. And you don't have to remind me that we had more guests at that meeting than we've ever had before. Nevertheless, I don't think it was an appropriate thing. Further, I don't know how to say this, but, you know, gosh, as your president, nobody is more encouraging to speakers than I am. But I really don't think it was appropriate to replace applause with cries of "Shake it, baby." Fellow members, with just a few changes to our club, I'm sure we can live up to our speech, our club name, our mantra. Please join me and say it here. When are we going to become the Toastmasters Club we want to become? Next year for sure.
Mr. Timer, 2 minutes.